Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the videos in the algorithm. Okay, so make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much for all of the um, wonderful things that you all do for this channel. Okay. Um, hey, you all rock. I always say this is the Real Grown Folks channel. We agree to disagree and we move on. Okay. I wanted to talk about I just wanted to do something inspirational this morning. And I decided to title it Learn How to Accept Change and Relish in New Seasons of Your Life, right? I think oftentimes we're held back because we don't know how to accept change. I have to say, I think I've been one of those persons. My thing is like, any other time in my life, right? I've been able to accept change, but you all know, um, 1 year ago, I lost my father, right? My dad was my business partner. Um, I just credit my dad with everything as it relates to believing in me, being my business partner, being my confidant, teaching me how to strategize, being a great strategist, introducing me to different things that I now have the opportunity to benefit from in my life, right? So my dad was only in his early 60s, okay, like 63. Um and he passed away from complications of diabetes, okay? And I think a lot of built up stress too because my dad was an elected official, okay? And he had diabetes which ran through his family or runs through his family for a long time, and because he was on the go all the time, he just did not do what was necessary, okay? And I think I've spoken about this before. He did not hey, he would get sick and go to the hospital. Okay. And as soon as he got better, he would be right back eating the Dodgers chicken and drinking the big orange sodas and all of that. And then he would get really sick again. He had to have a couple toes amputated, but he was still going right. Once he got better, he would be back on the same thing, right? And I think because my dad was such a fighter, he always seemed extremely strong. I never in my life thought that he would pass away. Still trying to deal with it to this day, right? My dad and I talked at least 3 times a day. Okay, so when you start seeing your parent who you feel like he was just Superman to me, a brilliant mind, a strategist, a go-getter, just my protector, just everything, right? As it relates to what was going on in my life, right? He was a fixer of things. Um, it's really hard to it's hard to accept that change. And I get to thinking about it because I count the days and stuff that my dad has been gone. It's like 391 days, that I have not seen him. 391 days as of right now, 4 hours and 44 minutes, right? I count that, because we start to, once we lose our parents, I think we kind of take for granted that the people that we love will always be around. Okay. And so I said all that to say that sometimes it's hard, and hey, it don't necessarily even have to be a death, right? Sometimes people just, hey, walk out of your life, right? Things change, seasons change. And sometimes people get left behind because they don't know how to accept it. And I think for me, that had been one of the things that it took me so long to accept. And a lot of things that a lot of places as far as in my career that I could be, hey, I didn't want to move forward without my dad, right? And we find it so hard to do that. Like, I don't want to move forward. Like, I was ready to give up everything as it relates to media. My dad started this with me. I don't even think it's fair for me to continue on. That's the mindset that I had. And that's why I decided to do this video. Accept change and relish in your new seasons, right? When I started talking about my dad, I started talking about how he's been gone for 391 days, right? And a lifetime to go. Sometimes I find tears rolling down my face. I go, dog, I got a lifetime to go without my dad, right? But my dad was such a soldier, right? Hey, I thought that what happened to him had happened instantly. I didn't know until maybe some months back that people, because he was so private, he kept going just like nothing was wrong with him. That's why I don't give people excuses. I never have, but I definitely don't give them excuses after knowing that my dad knew that his kidneys were declining about 2 years ago, and had actually spoken to some people about putting some things in place and saying, hey, this is what I want. I want y'all to make sure that this goes on, because I ain't gonna be around much longer. And he was actually around, because he was so strong, longer, right, than he had expected. Okay. And so that's why I said we don't ever really know what tomorrow brings, but we got to learn to accept change, whether it's death, whether it's people that choose to walk out of your life. People do you wrong. Hey, I got issues with that too. When people don't do me right, I have issues with forgiveness. Okay. But when we have to learn to accept change, accept things for how they are. When we can't change them, we just have to accept them and learn how to make the best of new seasons in our life. I think that's why a lot of us stay so left behind, because we don't know how to adapt to change. We stay stuck in the past, right? And hey, I'm one of those ones. I don't like staying stuck in the past. Okay. We stay stuck in the past, and we don't know how to move forward as it relates to um, um, hey, adapting and making the best of what we can't change, and relishing right in the new, right? Hey, when we lose people, rather they walk away, rather they pass away, or whatever. Hey, we cannot life doesn't stop. It just does not stop. We have to learn how to relish. And then you have to think about, if especially if it's not death, it's something else. When people, seasons change as far as friendships and leaderships and things of that nature. Hey, sometimes seasons are just up. I used to have this thing about, if someone had helped me, because I'm such a loyal person. If someone had helped me, I felt like I was supposed to carry them with me all through every season, right? And my dad used to say to me, hey, that person, the way life is set up, that person may have just been put there just to help you. You don't forget about it, but some people you can't drag with you. When the opportunity comes, hey, and you're in a position, and that person is in the right position, and you can return the favor, you go ahead and do that, right? If it's not detrimental to your livelihood, right? But hey, you do what is necessary. That person does what is necessary for you. They've helped you, but sometimes people just can't go with you into new seasons, right? They was put there at that point in your life as a connect. Hey, you don't ever forget that. But then sometimes they can't go. You can't drag everybody into new seasons with you, because they will hold you back. And I think that's why sometimes people get so they get left behind. They get so caught up in holding themselves back. See, I think what people don't realize sometimes is that oftentimes other people are not the reasons for them being held back. Okay. Other people are not the reasons for them being held back. Some people hold themselves back because they are so determined to bring dead weight into their future. Sometimes seasons are just up, you know. Hey, that's why, you know, you hear people say all the time, everybody has an ex, right? Everybody has an ex. Oftentimes seasons are just up. You relish in those moments in the past, and then sometimes it has an expiration date, and then you accept that it has an expiration date for whatever reasons, and you just move on because it could be something better for you. It doesn't mean that the person that is your ex is necessarily bad. It could just mean that that season is up. You outgrew each other. You move on and you start relishing, right? You have so many people, they hold themselves back because they're talking about exes, you know, and they've been broke up for 15 years. You go, well, have you dated since then? No, but they still talking about what their ex that they've been broken up for 15 years did to them. Learn to accept change. Prepare yourself, right, for the future, and relish in the future. Be happy, you know, going into the future. I know oftentimes when there's change, it's scary, but prepare yourself to be happy going into the future so that you can attract happy things, happy people. You notice when people are happy and they have a good aura about them, hey, they might like you, but they go, that's a pessimistic person. You know, I can't deal with that person. Hey, that's a cool person, but they're so negative. They're always so pessimistic. I don't want that in my life, you know, because I'm a happy person. I'm a go getter. I go get things, okay? And so that's why I say you have to prepare yourself if you want good things, because people that's out there shaking and moving, they don't want negative people around them. They like to have positive people around them, you know, when they're go-getters, you know, producing positive energy. It brings in, you know, positive things, not people that feel like that they're supposed to leech all the time and hey, trying to come up on something off of somebody else, always trying to get something for free. No, you know, I think people need to get out of that mindset, right? People should get out of that mindset and learn to use their creativity, right? Accept change, let go of that old stuff of always sitting and thinking, okay, you know, how am I gonna come up on something off of them, right? Get your own stuff and learn how to relish in new seasons. Let go of that old mindset. Because people that's out there shaking and moving and getting it, they watch that, especially when they're go-getters. They watch to see if people got that mindset of always trying to get something out of somebody. And if they see, they call them moochers, right? Or smoochers. If they see that you are a smoocher or a moocher, whatever it is that people with money call you, they're gonna get you away from around them. You know, they're always trying to mooch off of somebody, okay? Instead of saying, listen here, you know, hey, these are shakers and movers. Can you show me? Can you show me? I ain't got the mindset. All I know how to do is try to scheme off of people. Show me how to shake and move and change my mindset and watch and see if they see you for real. Okay, they'll show you how to shake and move to come up on some real money, right? But if you were trying to be a moocher, yeah, you know, I had got this off of that person, I came up off of that person, you're gonna always stay down in the sewer. Okay, you're gonna always stay in the sewer because people that's shaking and moving don't let people use them or don't want folks around them like that. If they give you something, it's because they was trying to give you a hand up anyways. They got that type of mindset because they shakers and movers. Everybody can make a little something, right? And so that's why I say seasons change. Change. Even if it's forced change, accept it. But if you're set on a mindset that ain't beneficial to you or nobody else, learn to change your own mindset. Learn to work on yourself, right? And then start relishing in new seasons. All the seasons change. We see that anyways, right? Nature changes. The seasons change, okay? And so as we change right along, just because I don't like the winter, it don't stop the winter from coming. So what I have to do is I have to learn to adapt and make the best of the winter. I have to suit up for the winter. I have to pull out my coats, my boots, and all of that and adapt and relish in the wintertime, right? Just because I wanted to say spring and summer all year, especially spring, hey, we're going to go into the summer in a couple months, right? Spring is not going to stay just because I want it to stay. I like the summertime too, but I prefer the spring. So what I have to do is, as we go on into the summertime, hey, I have to adapt to the hot heat and then get ready for the fall after that. Okay. So learn to do that. Learn to do those things. Accept change, whether it's forced or not. Okay. Accept it. Most change is forced up on us. Hey, but it's even better when you go, you know what? This right here ain't been working for me. It ain't working for me. And so instead of being a creature of habit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, even though it's going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to go ahead and make a change for the betterment of myself. Okay. And I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to make the best of it. Right. So, I felt the need to get on here as I decide because, hey, I think I'm talking to myself too, because for a whole year, like, I had been going back and forwards with whether I was going to stay on TV or not. I was like, am I going to stay on TV? Every time I got ready I'm over my dad's organization now. Every time I got ready to start doing something, and his sisters would call me, what you going to do with your dad's organization? Have you are you going to continue on with those programs? When are you going to continue on? I have people from the city council. We need your dad's program. Hey, the money is there. We need you to help, with the city. What you got planned? We the resources are there, and we'd be more than willing. And every time, I got ready to sit down, me and my sister. Hey, and my sister has a brilliant mind. Okay, some of my sisters had decided that they didn't want to continue on for whatever reasons, but one of my sisters was like, I'm gonna ride this on out. Hey, whatever you do, big sister, hey, I'm riding it out with you. And she has a very creative mind also. But every time I got ready to push forward with it, I would get upset. Like I would get upset. I would go, dog, hey, this is my dad's baby. He was so excited. And I just don't think it's right, to have to do this, without my dad. And so someone had reached out to me because it was like, they wanted to honor your father for all the things that he did. And hey, I gave him your number because you're the person that your dad was really preparing. It was almost like, I didn't know that he was getting ready to, he was preparing himself to leave. And that's why he was calling me at least 3 times a day saying, Gal, we need to do this. I need to do that, that, and that, because I guess he was preparing me to take the leadership role. Right. And so I found myself being stagnant because every time I got ready to pick up the torch that he had left behind for us, to continue on, I found myself breaking down. Like, I can't do this without my father. And so, it's just been recently with a lot of meditation. I'm gonna tell y'all, aerobics, yoga, all of that, prayer, getting up early mornings, praying, meditation, and all of that has really helped me to get back into alignment. And I found myself getting excited about some of the programs that I want to offer, some of the things that I want to do as it relates to working with young adults and working with the youth. And I started to get my zest back. And I was like, God, I know that's got to be the spirit of my dad, because I found myself getting excited again. And I woke up the other morning and I was just writing down stuff like I used to do it. I dream, I jump up out of my sleep and stuff. And my notebook is right there on my bedstand. And I just start writing, stuff. And I was like, well, hey, I kept myself. I wasn't able to accept the change of that my dad was not coming back, because at first I was like, I'm gonna do what I did with my grandmother. When my grandmother, my mom's mom, who helped to raise me, when she passed away about 11 years ago, I was like, the way that I was able to cope with that was, I was like, okay, my grandmother is at the hospital. I was like, I cannot do that this time, because when I finally had to deal with it, I ended up having to go get me some counseling, right? Because I could not accept that my grandmother, who was strong, who had always been a constant figure in my life, who was always you talking about, I mean, she was beautiful, but hey, she was hard. Okay. They were hard women. Okay. Um, that she was not here. Like all the strong people, leaving my life. And so when I finally started to accept that, I ended up having to be sitting on somebody's couch dealing with that. And I was like, I don't want to have to do that with my father. Um hey, I accepted it, but every time I thought about it, the way that I dealt with it, I had to start pushing it out of my mind, because every time I thought about, the time that my dad and I all, because my daughter said to me one day, she was like, Mama, it's okay, for you to feel the way that you feel. She said, you spend quite a bit of time with granddaddy. You and granddaddy was like freaking frat. Everything granddaddy, when granddaddy start retired, everything that he knew, he started imparting inside of you. So it's okay for you to feel a certain way. She was like, but Mom, be glad granddaddy taught it to you. She said, hey, we here, me and my sister here, Mama, we'll do whatever you need. She said, just be glad that granddaddy didn't hold anything back. She said, and he taught you everything so that you can carry it on, right? And so that's why I say learn to accept change. Okay. Learn how to accept change and relish in the new seasons of your life, right? Hey, sometimes, when people impart those great things inside of you, like my dad did, it's meant for you to continue on. Because I was used to my dad dealing with people, because I'm shy and reserved. I don't know how to deal with people like that. Okay. Um, hey, but learn how to relish in those new seasons. Hey, it's just meant for me to start nurturing those relationships also, right? Because I'm like, I don't know how to be fake. I'm so standoffish or whatever. And so my mother was saying to me, she was like, well, I think working for that police department made you like that. Because when you were a teenager, when you was a little girl, you were always just like the loud, go get it type person. And you started working for that police department. It made you standoffish. It made you secretive. It just made you a very private person with the type of way that you do stuff. And she said, hey, but it's a new season, it's a new time, and sometimes you adapt and you change, and there's nothing wrong with that. Learn how to relish in those seasons, and then when the seasons change, hey, pray about it, do whatever is necessary, have all of the emotions you need to have, but don't get stuck in that. Relish in the new seasons, because new seasons bring new things, and it don't necessarily mean that it's bad. Everybody that you meet is not bad. It's not out to get you, right? And I think I was one of those people too. I go, okay, why is that person trying to get close to me? If they started to try to get too close to me, I got scared of them. Okay. And then I've had issues where, because I'm such a giver, where I'm go, hey, no problem at all, because I get what I want, and I know how to get what I need. And I be wanting to see everybody eat. That's just like the type of person that I am. And so then when I have people to start cutting at me and stuff, it takes me back to the very beginning. And that's the reasons why I don't let new people in my life. That's the reasons why it takes me back behind that fence, right? It takes me back behind the fence, and I lock the gate. Out the gate, I get cut. I'm back in the gate, and I'm locking the gate. Ain't nobody getting in, but we can't do that, right? We have to learn to keep going when things of that nature happen. Go, hey, you know what? Hey, that's that person's loss. I know I'm a good one. Hey, I learned a lesson from this, though. Take them as lessons, become wiser, and keep moving. You can't go back behind that gate and lock yourself in and hold yourself back. Keep relishing in those new seasons, because sometimes things are brought to hold you back. If you got greatness on the inside of you, don't let nothing hold you back. Family members, no relationships, nothing. The relationship over, hey, you learn from that. Hey, it's relishing your new season, because it's somebody else waiting. We're all connected to other sources of energy, which are people. Sometimes, you have 15 years with that person, but I've lost time. It don't matter. Take the lesson and move on and relish in your new season, because it's somebody else waiting to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Right? We hold ourselves back, stuck into things that was never really meant for us. It was just supposed to be a lesson. That's it. So learn to accept change and relish in your new season. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I just felt like getting on here saying it. I got to get out today and go film one of my clients' shows. Okay. I got to go film their shows. And I said that to say this. I had gotten away. Let me just say this. I had gotten away from doing what was necessary as it relates to my TV show. People calling me, where you at? You running all the reruns. And hey, I think I lost my zest. My clients that I produce and put on TV, I was doing their stuff. But as far as me being on TV, I was doing a vlog, but hey, I was not investing in that as I could have, right? My sales and stuff kind of fell back as it relates to advertisement because I didn't have that zest, right? That I'd had before getting out and going to businesses and even hiring people to go to businesses. Hey, I had lost my zest because I didn't know how to accept the change of being able to call and talk to my dad about things when I ran into hiccups or dealing with people or whatever and getting advice for him. But hey, the seasons are going to always change. Nothing is promised, not even the people in our lives, no matter how much we love them. One thing for sure, we all got to go one day, right? We all got to go, just like my dad is gone. My children are going to have to experience the exact same thing as it relates to me one day. And I hope not one day soon, right? But I don't want them to get stuck, right? I want them to keep the memories, right? Accept the change and relish in their new seasons. That's why I always talk about, hey, I get all types of insurance, okay? And I make sure I teach my kids about business and the stuff that I'm doing, because I want for my babies to be wealthy when I ain't here no more. Okay. I want them to relish in their new seasons. Okay. But anyways, you guys, hey, I'm gonna get off of here before I get to, because I get to talking too much about that. I get to crying and stuff. Y'all know how it is. Okay. It's the end of the month. Y'all know we be getting emotional around that time. So I ain't gonna cry today. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that. Okay. I just felt like doing some inspiration. I'm sure I needed that for myself. I'm sure some more people needed that too. Okay. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.